Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday class. Shakespeare and his work. We are continuing with our topic Shakespeare's Roman plays Julius Caesar, Antony and Cleopatra, and Coriolanus. All these are tragedies and are placed along with the tragedies in the first folio. They are based on Thomas Nor's English translation of Plutarch's Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans, written in the 1st century AD. Titus Andronicus is set in mythical Rome, so it is not included in this group. Then, talking about romances, Cymbeline, Pericles, The Winter's Tale, The Tempest belong to this category. Perfection of the art of tragicomedy, simultaneously developed by Beaumont and Fletcher in Philaster. Tragic comedy is a term coined by Fletcher in the preface of his play, The Faithful Shepherdess. So let's see what are the features of romances. First of all, wandering and separation of family members, followed by redemption, forgiveness, and reconciliation. There will be sea and maritime activity, magic, supernaturalism, and other fantastic elements. Hence, of course, it is unrealistic. There will be appearances of pagan figures similar to those in Masque, that is Jupiter in Cymbeline, and Iris, Ceres, and Juno in The Tempest, etc. There will be influence of the genre of masque pioneered by Ben Jonson and the stage designer Inigo Jones. The term romance was first used for these plays by William Dowden. The Two Noble Kinsmen, the last romance written in collaboration with John Fletcher. The Tempest in 1613 was included in the wedding celebrations for Princess Elizabeth and Elector of Palatine. Today we will look into the plot of Cymbeline, which is set in mythical Britain. Cymbeline is listed as a tragedy in the first folio. The plot of Cymbeline is partly from Boccaccio's Decameron and partly from Raphael Holinshed's Chronicles. The play is introduced by the ghost of John Gower as the enactment of an ancient tale. Imogen, the daughter of the British king Cymbeline, goes against her father's wishes and marries a low-born gentleman, Posthumus, instead of his offish stepson Cloten. Cloten is the son of Cymbeline's new queen, a villainous woman who has made the king her puppet. Cymbeline sends Posthumus into exile in Italy, where he encounters a smooth-tongued Italian named Iachimo. Iachimo argues that all women are naturally unchaste, and he makes a wager with Posthumus that he will be able to seduce Imogen. He goes to the British court and, failing in his initial attempt to convince a princess to sleep with him, resorts to trickery. He hides in a large chest and has it sent to her room. That night he slips out, observes her sleeping, and uncovers her body while she sleeps. Observing details of a mole on her breast, which he then describes to Posthumus as proof that he had slept with her, and steals a bracelet that Posthumus once gave to her. Cloten, meanwhile, continues to pursue Imogen, but she rebuffs him harshly. He becomes furious and vows revenge, while she worries over the loss of her bracelet. In the meantime, Iachimo has returned to Italy and, displaying the stolen bracelet and an intimate knowledge of the details of Imogen's bedchamber, convinces Posthumus that he won the bet. Posthumus, furious at being betrayed by his wife, sends a letter to Britain ordering his servant Pisanio to murder Imogen. But Pisanio believes in Imogen's innocence, and he convinces her to disguise herself as a boy and go search for her husband, while he reports to Posthumus that he has killed her. Imogen, however, soon becomes lost in the wilds of Wales, and she comes upon a cave. There, Belarius, an unjustly banished nobleman, lives with his two sons, Guiderius and Arviragus. In fact, the two noblemen are not his sons but Cymbelin's. Belarius has kidnapped them to avenge his banishment, though they themselves are ignorant of their true parentage. They welcome Imogen, who is still dressed as a boy. Meanwhile, Cloten appears. Having come in pursuit of Imogen, he fights a duel with Guiderius, who kills him. Imogen, feeling ill, drinks a potion the queen has given her. Although the queen told her it was medicinal, the queen herself believed it to be a poison. However, the draught merely induces a deep sleep that resembles death. Belarius and his adoptive sons come upon Imogen and, heartbroken, lay her body beside that of the slain Cloten. Awaking after they have left the scene, she mistakes the body of Cloten for that of Posthumus, and she sinks into despair. A Roman army has invaded Britain, seeking the restoration of a certain tribute Britain has ceased to pay. A tribute here is a payment given to one nation by another in return for a promise of non aggression. So the disguised Imogen hires herself out to them as a page. Posthumus and Iachimo are traveling with the Roman army, but Posthumus switches to the garb of a British peasant and fights valiantly for Britain. Indeed, in this combat, he actively seeks death. He believes his servant to have carried out his orders and killed Imogen, and he regrets his actions. The Romans are defeated thanks to the intervention of Belarius, Guiderius, and Arviragus, and Posthumus, still trying to punish himself, switches back to Roman garb and allows himself to be taken prisoner. That night, the god Jupiter promises the spirits of Posthumus's dead ancestors that he will care for their descendant. The next day, Cymbeline calls the prisoners before him, and the confusion is sorted out. Posthumus and Imogen are reunited, and they forgive a contrite Iachimo who confesses his deception. The identity of Guiderius and Arviragus is revealed. Belarius is forgiven, and the queen dies, leaving the king free of her evil influence. As a final gesture, Cymbeline frees the Roman prisoners and even agrees to resume paying the tribute. So that's all for today. In the next class, we will be discussing the plots of more romances. See you then. Happy Sunday.